What's up, guys? Studfit here. Well, I'm joined by my good friends for another episode of Kart Talk. I am so excited. Each one of these other attendees is a member, the majority of them being super studs, and it's always great having some familiar faces. You already kind of get to know everyone. Everyone's done a face reveal, including Larry. So we're excited to be able to jump in. This is probably, I'll be honest with you, this is probably my favorite questions that we've had prepared for today's episode. We got a lot going on between right now. We are in the New Year's tour. We have this morning, we saw a news release for Singapore coming up. There's a lot going on. We have this hero ranked situation. There's just so much fun stuff to talk about. So we'll jump right into it. First, I just want everyone to kind of go around, say their name, say where they're from, and then people may not know, what if they're a whale or not. So I thought it might be fun just to do like a scale from 1 or 0 to 10, 0 being free to play, 1 being gold pass only, and 10 being like whale Carlos. Where are you on that spectrum? And we'll start, since we have a lot of European and Asian, I guess all European, but we have 3 members from Europe. We have 3 members from the United States. So we'll figure we go east to west. I think we have Nathalie. You're going first.
Yeah, hi, my name is Nathalie and I'm from Denmark. Wait, I'm like, don't spend money.
You know where you're from, by the way? I think I should have prefaced that.
I'm from, don't I need to say
it? Denmark, is that what you said?
Yeah, I said Denmark, did I not?
You were a little shaky at first. I wasn't sure if you forgot. Sorry about it. Go ahead.
I don't know where I forgot where I'm from. It's 3 a.m. so I can forget things. but yeah, I don't spend that much. I think I'm only gold pass and like a couple of packs like every other tour now. But beforehand, I spent a lot of money on the game. But maybe I'm like 2, 3 now, 4.
3 or 4, 3.5 on the scale. And I think you might be the only one on this call who's been kicked out of their account for a few days too, right?
I think so.
What happened there? Just add some light to who you are.
Yeah, my niece was playing on my account, and then I wanted to play a bit later on, and it said I needed to log in again, and then I was like, what? And then I was like, okay, I just log in again, but then it said I needed to make a new account, and then I was like, what is this? What is going on? And then I actually texted Larry, hey, do you have me on my friend list? And then he was like, no. And then I called him and I was like, what is going on here? And then nobody had me on their friends list. And we were like, did she delete the account or what? And she did. And yeah, it took a week and then I got it back, which was nice of them. I'm so happy I got it back.
Yeah.
Your niece accidentally deleted your account while she was playing?
Yeah, the thing is, we are from Denmark, so we don't speak English. So I don't know what happened, but she started refresh, and then when you press refresh, actually you only need to type in the name. We found out, and when you and my name was just Nathalie at that time, so it was like she can spell my name, right? So now I have added hearts to my name, so that cannot happen again.
There you go.
I like it. Well, I'm glad you got your account back. We're happy to have you back and getting those coins every day. Larry 98, this is your second time joining us. It's been a while, but we've gotten the face reveal out of the way. So tell everyone a little bit about where you're calling from and where you line up on that 1 to 10.
Yeah, hi, I'm Larry 98. I'm from Germany. I would say I'm a 8 out of 10. I'm not like Carlos, because Carlos a lot of time pulls more. I just get the new items and then I'm out. And Carlos is like pulling for level ups and stuff like that. Yeah.
Awesome. And then our final member joining us from Europe, we have Angelita. Welcome, Angelita.
Hi. Just kind of tired, but yeah, I'm from the UK, so excuse the tired face, and everything.
It's already tomorrow there. You're in the future.
What's
I know. Tomorrow like?
Hey, I've got working 5 hours, and it's a lovely 8-hour shift, and I'm so looking forward to it. Can't you tell? The face just says it all.
You're excited. It's almost like Christmas morning.
My tree's gone. Can't you? This way.
I was gonna say your tree's missing this time.
My tree's gone. My tree's gone. Yeah, devastated. But anyway, no. In terms of being a whale, I'm not a whale. I'm just a small fish in a small pond. You know. But luckily, I do have a great account to play on. So I think I'd probably be about a 5, maybe pushing a 6. I mean, I do buy packs every tour, and like Larry, you know, when I get the new item, I'm out. If I don't get it, I just don't stress. I just wait till it comes back again, and yeah, that's it.
Awesome. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. Going from a small fish in a small pond. Now we're going to move across the pond. ThisBeChris, why don't you tell us a little bit from where you're calling from and where you line up on that 0 to 10 scale?
Yeah, so I'd say I probably fall most weeks in like a 6 to 7 range, maybe push like an 8. Definitely, I mean, there have been tours where I bought everything, but that's kind of got to be a perfect storm where, you know, I don't have things maxed out at level 7. I wouldn't buy a pack, you know, if it meant I'm just getting 6,000 coins, for example. So, and then but this week I haven't bought, you know, a ton, so maybe somewhere in that 6 to 7 range for me. Oh, and I'm from most recently from around Philadelphia. So
nice, man. And FrenzyFans, our final guest. Tell us a little bit about where you guys are calling from, and you guys probably are in different you know, different lines on that 10-point scale.
Yeah, so we live in a suburb of Atlanta, just east of Atlanta a little bit, and I say on average I probably sit around like 2.8 to 3.5, except if there's a tour I'm really going for it, which this tour I'll probably be right around like 5.49687, we'll say.
I like the decimal scores.
Yeah, you're welcome. No.
And yeah, so I think I'm a little bit more competitive than Frenzy Fangirl.
Definitely.
I don't know that I definitely don't spend money on packs every week. Usually it's only if it's something that really helps me out, like in ranked and or ACR, or like just overall loadouts, whatever. Or if it's just like a really cool item that I would just really enjoy like using and you know, running around with and stuff. So yeah, I would say I'm probably like around a 4 to 6 range, like depending on the tour. So
awesome. Yeah, when I was thinking about the question, I'm probably definitely at a 9.5. There's times where I've been a 10 for, you know, months, and there's times where I've kind of taken off. I think lately I'm more 9. I skip packs if I don't if I already have it at level 7. You know, I'll probably start to just based on the packs being so many duplicates. I'll probably move into more of an 8, and who knows what's going to happen. But I love this community. I love this channel. I love every one of you guys. So I think everyone likes seeing the pool video. So I'll keep the content going when it comes to the pool. So I don't expect to dip below 7 anytime soon. But we got a lot of to dive into. I know, Chris, you had a great icebreaker. We'll let you read it off if you want.
yeah. So I don't remember why I thought of this, but I was just kind of thinking sort of what is your favorite way to go about collecting tokens? And then if you had ever just kind of thought of maybe like a new or creative way that would be cool for Nintendo or DNAs to make a way to get tokens. I guess I should answer first since I asked it, but I like to I do like this tours, you know, taking out opponents. But I think I prefer more when it's like a singular item, you know, like you have to take people out with bananas or something, just because as the tour grinds on, it gives you something else to focus on. It might make you choose like a banana, you know, glider or something. So that's kind of what I like. I don't have an answer for a new or cool way. I was kind of thinking about like a token frenzy or something that would be open to anybody, and you know, but that's kind of all I got. Maybe I'll think of something as you guys say much better answers than I just did.
Yeah, we should have prepared you more for that question there, Chris. I think it's interesting, right? So, you know, we have these tokens, and I can tell you what, any tokens that we get that are not related to a rally tour, I want them as quickly out of the way as possible. So I'll give my answer here in a little bit, but anyone want to jump in to answer Chris's question first?
Yeah, so for me, like, I'm not a huge fan when the tokens are actually part of gameplay, especially if they like rob you of like the red coins. And so for me, I think it'd be, I don't know, I'm just kind of lame. I'm like, I think it'd be cool if it was just like a set amount of tokens that you got, whether you took like first, second, or third, and then you just like knew that like, okay, in order to get all the tokens, I have to take first, 58 times or whatever, and then it kind of pushed you to race better. But that's just me.
I like it.
So last tour there was the get tokens by completing like mini drifts, right?
The mini turbo boosts.
Mini turbos. I thought that one was kind of interesting because you could kind of see how many mini turbo boosts that you do per race. Fun. And I was like, like I mean, obviously the shorter tracks and the longer tracks, but it's I was usually getting around, like the 20 to 30, which, with the mini boosts, like carts, they give you like an extra, like 2 or 4 points, something like that. We've known it before, but it was just interesting to see like how few times that, maybe it's just me, maybe I'm playing the game wrong, but I was under the impression that I was going to be getting a whole lot more tokens like per race, and but I think it would be pretty sweet if you got like the challenge was to dodge blue spiny shells, and you get like 5,000 tokens per. So like you just have to do it like twice, and like you get to clear out the shop. But then there's the chance that like you just don't get anything because you have to have the mushroom when the blue shell comes. I'm sure like people would figure out a way to hack it to like try and get the computer to, give you more blue shells when you have everybody would be driving on non-auto item and all that stuff. But I don't know. I just think it would, throw us all for a loop.
Yeah. What if you got like 1 token for every dodge you did with a spiny, but everything in the token shop was just 1 token?
Right. Yeah.
But it's like 20 things.
That'd be hard.
I can see a lot of people being really upset about that too, though. Right. They'd be like, really, like you expect us to, these lightning striking, twice, 3 times a tour is not gonna be very helpful. But I think it's a fun one regardless. Great answer. Who else?
I mean, I'm not a big fan of the green token thing because I just find it time consuming. But if anything, I mean, I try and get most of them on like the tour day release when like you're doing like the multiplayers for the cups. So the more people you can get in to give you a hand with that, the better it is. And yeah, I do prefer to get the actual tokens in game, like throwing a shell or a banana or something like this. And yeah, I did find the mini turbo thing like really interesting because I'm not the world's best driver at the game, so it can actually tell you where you do need to improve and stuff. So it is a bit of a tool to see like in where you can improve your own gameplay. So I think that is a great idea.
Yeah, like anyone do the team where you like have 2 people, racing together. I've never done that before. Have you guys ever done that?
Never.
Maybe we did it like once when it first came out, but
we were excited to do it with some friends and then realized that it was just kind of lame, and it took more effort to try and like get all 4 of us together to play than it was just to play and get the tokens just by ourselves. So
Nathalie, you want to give your answer for this icebreaker?
Yeah, I just wanted to say that I think everybody here, get the same vibe that the tokens are just like something you need to do. And when it's the coins, it's just annoying because it's like you cannot start to grind before the tokens are gone. So I like that they're doing those like where it's like you don't have to think about it. It's just easy to do it, like with causing opponents to crash and do the mini turbo boost, because it's like you're doing it anyway, so you get it done. You don't need to like do extra to get it. So need less work for us.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I think all of us here play the game probably way more than we should. So I think to us it's like a hassle. It's like, oh, I just got to get through it. And for a lot of us, it might be like day 1, day 2. maybe even day 3 or 4. But I mean, there might be some people that like they're like fighting up until like the Tuesday at the end of the tour to get through it. You know, they might just do ranked, or they might just kind of play casually. I feel like there's a lot of players that fall into that bucket. But you know, us being in Discord, obviously us being members of you know, YouTube, there's a different devotion that we add to the game. So for us, it's like, let's get out of the way. But for other people, it probably does actually help them, you know, play the game more, which I think Nintendo wants. So I think all in all, you know, I'm okay with it. It's not the biggest deal in the world, but I'm sure there's some people like, if there's some way I could just get these tokens more. I say whatever does not have you know, Coinbox association where you lose those red coins, I'm okay with literally everything else. But Larry, what's your answer there?
Yeah, I think I'm also with every find besides coins on the tracks, and since I grind player level on the new tracks anyways, I get them automatic. I don't really have to grind for banana hits or green shell hits. So yeah.
And if Mario is listening, I don't think any of us are saying that we don't love the extra like ability to get all those prizes. Like that part, Mario, do not change that, right? Like we like that. We just don't like working for it. So just give it to us for free. And
So what about this?
When did they add the tokens at Plenty? Because that's really, I love that. It's like, give me them for free. Come give me them.
So what about this? To help some people in the game that never give coins to friends, what if that was the way that you got tokens?
horrible.
Like you exchange tokens to your friends instead of coins?
Yeah, because the amount of coins you get even at 5 per is pretty, you know, nominal. So that's a good idea.
Because there are some people that are just like dead set on never giving coins. And it's like, what can you do to force them to get in the habit of being nice to their friends? Like, what is the big deal about just like hitting the screen a couple of times to help people out?
Okay, but what they need to do is they need to have like a checkbox next to every friend's name, so you can just click the checkbox and then submit one.
Yeah,
right?
Like better, yeah. Or just all automatic. But
of course.
But then they can do it random. So maybe one time you open a coin or send a coin, you get thousands of tokens, like random chance. So you don't know it, so you have to do it.
Oh,
that'd be cool.
Yeah, we need more RNG involved in this game.
Yeah.
No.
Dopamine hits.
More screenshots of people being like, "Can you believe it? I got 5,000 tokens," and then the rest of us beat them.
I think that would be great for like, you know, I know like Carlos doesn't always give coins, so it'd be like, it would torment him to be like, I just want to get these tokens out of my shop. I can't. So finally, fine, I'll send coins and take. You know, I love the fact that we have the tokens. I was trying to think of a creative way to get it. And I was thinking like, what if you got them for, you know, like those green shell snipes where you're going across and you know, someone's like a little far ahead and you throw that shell. So I don't know if it would be like green shell farther than like, you know, 5 feet or whatever it is in the game, or maybe just a green shell, just only green shells. I think that would make it a little more fun to have a green shell. But, oh, cool, green shell! I can finally get a couple tokens here. But I don't know. Overall, I think I'm pretty happy with the hits that we have like right now, because I can be like, oh, you know, it almost gives me like a little adrenaline rush or a little dopamine release. That I'm like, oh yes, I got somebody. Yeah, like I could totally dig that more than some of the other ones that are just like on the course or whatever. So I'm all about that. All right, so we got a lot to talk about. In fact, we are currently in the New Year's tour, so we'll start there. Great place to start. First, we'll start with who pulled for Meowser? Raise your hand. All right, and who pulled the gold pipe? Raise your hand. Who pulled both? I would say we could probably compare the two hands sets. And who pulled for Catalina? Cat Rosalina.
I will tomorrow.
You will tomorrow.
Yeah.
Is one of your parties?
Possibly. Yep. After seeing the tour thing today, that was kind of what I was waiting for. So.
Well, ThisBeChris, you asked a good question about Catalina specifically. You want to jump into that?
And let me pull it up real quick. What did I ask? Oh, I'm just kind of thinking back to like the because didn't Gold Roberto, he came out with Shy Guy, is that right? Is it, yeah, so that's why a lot of people missed out on him. So I was just wondering now, since we've had this, with the release of not only just a new coin boxer, but a new large coin boxer, you have somebody like Cat Rosalina, in the other pipe, in a 100 pipe. I don't know. In my guess is I could kind of see her sort of becoming the next in that line of, really, really beneficial drivers, on paywall tracks and whatnot. So just kind of curious if other people agreed, kind of what you thought, projected value wise you have for her. I could see her as being like the next kind of that fire Rosalina. That was like that group of 4 that kind of all last year where, if you had one of those 4, you were okay. Blackbird or whatnot. So yeah.
What do you guys think?
Yeah, I think it's. Oh, go ahead, Natalie. You got it.
You can go ahead.
So I think that it's the player base itself that dictates what's going to be the items that are in those really hard to roster top shelves, and it's due to the amount of stuff that's pulled. And when you have like a big introduction of this new like Bowser character that's going to be coin box, and I think like Catalina probably going to be under a lot of people's radar, especially since there's only like one other new thing or 2. It's a 9 item
3
pipe.
Actually.
Yeah, 2 or 3.
Okay, but 2 of the things are like reskins.
Yeah, there's a lot of reskin stuff, but yeah, you got Cat Rosalina, you have the gray Cat Cruiser, and then the black Cat Parafoil.
Yeah, I think people are going to be low on rubies because it's the end of the 3 tour, like winter celebration thing. And if people are, looking to allocate resources to certain places, I think that this pipe here with Catalina is going to be like on the bottom. And so just due to the necessity of how Mario likes to, roster stuff, like I think the writing's on the wall. she's gonna be the Rose Pauline and the Blackbirdo and the Fire Rosalina of 2022. So hence the reason why I'm pulling for her tomorrow. I'm not super excited about the city tour next week because I think I don't know if we're gonna talk about this later, but I think it's gonna be 36 tracks of cities. Which I mean,
we'll get to that for sure, but that could impact though the coverage for all new items this tour. So I know what you're saying, which does apply to this question. Great points there. I will say I was really surprised. I was doing the rundown. I'm always there in the premieres, and I was so surprised how many people were commenting that they were going to be pulling for her because they were already like, reverse engineer, like reverse thinking about it, and like they're thinking the same way you are. And so I'm actually. I think Philish and like 2 other people were like, I'm not pulling for, not pulling for Meowser. I'm actually going to pull for Cat Rosalina because I think that she's going to have better value the same way you are. And so like we're so like we're so brainwashed to think that that whatever is not pulled is what's valuable. And so I'm going to probably consider her probably more like a Penguin Mario or something where it's like, valuable, but and probably a top 10 driver, but at the end of the day, I'm not really getting a lot of coverage from that person. Now, I said there's some people going for it. I just want to say I don't think she's going to be pulled as little as you think she is, because everyone is smarter than this time around, and it's kind of like one of those fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. It's like everyone's like, no, I'm going to pull for Catalina because I know she's going to be valuable. So just putting it out there, I think she could be valuable, but I think a lot more people are pulling for her than you think. Who else has an opinion of Catalina or any of the cats for that matter?
See, the cats scare me. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. No, it's just they scare me. And yeah, I saw her and I thought, do I really want to look at that face when I'm choosing a driver?
Are you like,
I just
you're not like kink shaming furries or anything, are you?
What's that?
No.
No, it's just, I mean, the size of her hands and the feet and stuff, and it's wrong.
Well, it's a Rosalina, so she's got to have some body part that's like disproportionately large. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Tanuki was, now she's got the hands. So
the hands hands are just like twice the size of her head. I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. But I mean, I didn't pull for her only because I prefer to pull for Meowser. And I thought to myself, right, I've got to choose which one. And I thought, if I get her, then I'm happy. If I don't, then I'm not bothered. But no, Meowser was my preferred choice, to be honest. But I mean, I know that I don't know if anybody remembers Brad from ER. He absolutely loves Rosalina. Oh my gosh, he pulled for her and he was there. He was happy as anything. He's like, I got her. And I went, that's just wrong. You know?
Yeah.
That's just wrong. But no, that's just my personal thing. You know, I do think that, yeah, she is going to be a valuable driver. And I'm just the sort of person that I'll just say, okay, if I don't have her, I don't have her. If I do, then great. But I do think that she will have some value. I do think that she will be as big as Blackbirdo for this year coming around. But for me, I just can't. I can't deal with the cat. I deal with the cat.
It's the kitty litter, I'm sure. No, I mean, they should rename Mario Kart Tour. Just change it to Mario Kart with them wearing dumb animal costumes. Like that's what this game has been. Penguin costumes, cat costumes, costumes everywhere. Nathalie, Larry, Chris, any opinions on Catalina?
I think they're like gonna add all the cats at some point, like Daisy, Luigi. So we're not getting rid of them. They're just gonna keep heading them. Like, I see the point there, but it's like it's not really a useful item. The cat, the super bill. So it's like, if you're gonna have a lot of value when you have other coverage, like I remember some of the like Blackbirdo, I have not really used her. So even though she has been a top 10 driver, I have not used her at all. Like, so it's more like I don't want to waste my rubies on that.
Yeah,
that brings up a good follow-up, because I think a lot of this, you know, like the value it's going to bring you kind of does relate to like where you sit in that, you know, tadpole to whale or whatever, you know, situation. Because like, you know, I got Penguin Mario on a YOLO tenor, never used him. You know, so and I think in like even in like KG's one of his like recent videos talking about like how often do you need to like pull for these, you know, potential you know, paywall people. It's like if you're doing it like once every 3 or 4 months, then you're probably getting that coverage, you know, in terms if you get all of them, then they're obviously all not going to have equal value. So
the thing is, the sting of not having any top shelf driver is just so painful sometimes that it's like if I just would have pulled on this thing that I didn't really have an affinity to, but now like I totally would go back in time and get it, just because I mean the thing is you want the coin frenzies. So regardless of if it's, you know, the bomb cannon, if it's Bell, you're not going to record those runs. The runs that you walk away from and that you're excited about are the double and triple coin frenzy ones, right? And you have to have a top shelf driver for that. And if you're not pulling every single pipe and need to do it strategically, for a lot of people, I mean, I saw someone, you know, in the summer that pulled for Blackbirdo immediately 7 and 1400, and then every single ranked was just it was just a piece of cake. Like, and everyone just kind of like when he first did it was like, and he was laughing all the way to the bank, like 40 rubies and, you know, all the rewards all summer long. And where I was, you know, doing a second shelf coin boxer, just trying to get 2 coin boxes and, you know, getting 5th in ranked and calling it good. So,
well, I will say, you know, if you're getting, you know, you could just get like a coin box and a coin frenzy. You would outdo somebody who's trying to get for that double coin with that Blackbirdo. But Nintendo does compensate by giving, you know, these non-coin box drivers more, typically more tracks. And the coin boxers, they kind of cap at like 25, 26 tracks. Whereas like Blackbirdo's in the 30s. So it is hard. I mean, if you're able to you know, place all your chips on a Blackbirdo and it hits, you're very happy. But you know, you could also put all those tickets in a terrible driver, like, you know, maybe Cat Peach or something. Maybe someone is walking to the banking with Cat Peach, but if you put all your tickets on her, and then she's not getting the same treatment that Blackbirdo is, then it's tough, right? So I think overall, it's like from the meta. I think sometimes people are so scared of the meta, like they're like everyone's going into the coin box, and like I'm and I want to go the other direction. I think either way, like if you're going from Meowser or you're going for Catalina, you're still going into 100 pipe. You can't, there's no advantage to going for her. I mean, she's could be at the bottom just as much as Meowser. So for me, it's like, I would highly recommend people going for Meowser. And if you got extra rubies and you do want to also go for that, that's fine. I would say that, to the free to play, to the gold pass only, getting someone like Catalina could really, really help. I think to anyone above 5 on that scale, it's probably not going to do much for you. And it's probably going to sit like Penguin Mario on your bench at level 1 for 3 months until you pull them in a special pipe. So yeah, that would be my take on it. But again, I'm speaking from that 9. And so, I'm obviously a little biased there, but certainly great questions. Anything else? Anyone else want to talk about cats before we move on?
We're all the
dogs.
The dogs.
Yeah, we got the cats, so now I want to see the dogs. So Nintendo put some dogs in there now, okay? And let's have like a cat versus dog tour or something. So yeah, that would be fun. That's
at least they're canon though. They're canon in the Mario world, So at least there's that.
Yeah.
I do think though we are getting to a point where Nintendo is starting to just recycle like themes, and so I'm sure we'll get like another pirate character, we'll get another like all these different themes will come back again, in the same way that we're getting now. We got Mario wedding technically, and Peach wedding, we'll probably get Bowser wedding, and then so we'll have all these wedding things, we'll have all these penguin things, we'll have all these cat things, we'll have all these pirates, we'll have like a collection of things, and they'll kind of recirculate that, and that's fine. But it's starting to become a trend where they're being able to kind of get a little lazy if they want to. Mm-hmm. And I'm sure we're not done with cats. We probably got more coming on. No question about that. As we kind of wrap up talking about this tour, here are the skies. Yeah, so Chris, I just want to make sure I give everyone credit on these questions. Here are the skies 26 says, if you were to compare the past New Year's tours we've had, so obviously 2020, 2021, 2020.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Studfit, where'd you go?
Oh, he's back.
Okay. You're gonna have to read
the whole question cut out.
No way.
Yeah. You froze and we're offline for about 5 seconds.
I'm so sorry. It was such a good question though, so it's worth reading again. If you were to compare the past New Year's tours that we've had, 2020, 2021, 2022 now, would you say this is the best New Year's tour we've had so far?
No. Wait, no, I think the pipe last year was good with the Marios.
Yeah.
But I like the Meowser here. It's like a coin box.
So what's the best New Year's tour for you?
I'm sorry, what did you say?
I'm sorry, it might be my internet. It says it's a little unstable. I'll make sure to get off my Wi-Fi on my phone. But what's the best New Year's tour to you?
I think, I really like also the new track, but it depends, because I like the last year's pipe. I think it was great, but here I actually think this too. I really like the new track. This is a cool track. I like it a lot. It's so fun, and to have something new instead of like I really like this track. It's awesome.
I mean, I personally like this. I do actually like this one out of all 3, simply because the previous ones have been more based on city tracks, and you had the New York Minute that came through, you had the Vancouver that came through as well. And I think to myself that it wasn't so much it was based on cities, it was just a brand new driver, which was fantastic. Because last year I remember Lakitu Party Time coming out, and I ain't used him since then, to be honest with you. I just literally got him, and he just literally just sat on the shelf. Next day he just dropped off. And to me, that was a big fail, because everybody was expecting something fantastic. We got Party Time Pauline as well. She's done the same thing. She's just sat in my inventory. She hasn't even moved, and she's still at level 1, and I refuse to level her up, because to me, I've got more overlap on other drivers that are more valuable to me than using her. But I also find as well that last year and the year before, they did actually get lazy, because we had New York Minute that came up in the anniversary tour for last year. They also recycled it again the year before. And to me, it was just them just not putting any thought into it, any idea into it, or any drive into it. And this year, we've got Meowser, we've got Bowser's Castle, and I looked at that castle and I thought, that castle is just sick. And no, honestly, no, it's just sick. And I thought, this is the sort of tour that I would like to see for New Year, because nobody was expecting it. And to me, that actually put the drive back into the game. And yeah, I mean, I'm not going to touch on it because obviously we're going to talk about it later, but I think so far Nintendo are actually onto a good run, and they just need to keep it up. But personally, this has been my favorite, just simply for those reasons. And yeah, they haven't recycled anything apart from a couple of drivers, you know, a couple of skins and that. But the main track itself hasn't been the same thing that we've done over and over again. It's been something new, it's been something fresh, and it's something that I think a lot of people have actually enjoyed and have actually had fun grinding. And I personally am going to miss it. I am really going to miss it.
But it'll come back. That's the thing, is
I know
it'll come back in the regular rotation. So like that's like a huge like thank you, Mario. Like thank you. Finally. Fun track that isn't, you know, like one and done, and we're never going to see it again. So
well, hopefully it doesn't get the Merry Mountain treatment, and I don't think it will, but you never know with Nintendo, man.
No, because it's a Bowser's Castle from a previous Mario Kart game. So right. I mean, all the other ones that they've done of that. So like what was it, DK Pass? That was from another Mario Kart game, and that's been back a few times. It's not like it's definitely not on like the Ninja Hideaway level where it's like super special and, you know, only like twice ever is it going to be coming out. I think we're going to see this one like just as frequently as the what was the one that came out with Chemic? It was the Ghost Valley, Remix Ghost Valley series, whatever.
Yeah.
Like I'm really looking forward to, so like the R version, the reverse version of the new Bowser's Castle is so cool.
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait till when they come back with just the RT, right?
Yeah.
Like the R version just feels like so much more natural to race. It feels like it's an actual like race car race, and you know, getting that one as like a trick track, like I'm just looking forward to it. Like I don't care when it is. I know it's going to be sometime in the next few months, or, you know, 2022, but it has me excited. Like I'm totally on board.
I think you and John think on the same level, because he's excited as well for the RT version of that one, which he did say earlier on today, because I was asking him like what was his personal favorite, and he just said he just wants the RT, and yeah, that'll just that's the icing on the cake for him.
For sure.
Yeah, there was a while there where they were giving us a lot of RTs. We're like, man, you're giving us a lot of RTs. And now I think we've embraced it. We actually kind of like it. We're like, oh man, this could be cool. I'm waiting for the Maple Treeway RT one day. You know, like we're all pumped about like RT tracks now. So yeah, I'm with you. This Bowser Castle, and also in addition for the track itself, I don't know if it's just me, but I'm loving the coverage that they've given it. Like the actual items like Vampire Flyer, able to use like you know, the Galaxy Glider. Like for me, like I'm not struggling at all with items I've already maxed out, so it's allowing me to be able to save. Now I will say, you know, this week too on the T track, not great options, but you guys have your Silver King. Like they're allowing some of these awesome options, things like allowing us to be able to use it. Yeah, Galaxy or the Dream Glider. There's some just like they've done a really good job putting great loadouts on these tracks. So I think that's a really good point. Anyone else want to talk about this New Year tour and comparing it to past years?
Yeah, I would say that this New Year's tour I find better than the last one, basically because we have now Bowser's Castle finally in the game for Mario Kart 7. And actually, like between this 3DS course and the last 3DS course, there was like over a year. And between 3DS Rosalina's Ice World and 3DS Rainbow World, there was also 1 year. So it's good to finally see more tracks for Mario Kart 7. And then also seeing like Meowser and Tiger Bruiser, which is like a completely new card. But and last year only like more the pipes. We had like a lot of lucky 7 or coin box drivers, and we also had a gold pipe. So yeah.
Yeah, great points there. Kind of to piggyback off of the track, I know when we were doing the award ceremony, I was kind of putting together the list of best tracks for the year. And we got DK Pass, we got Ninja Hideaway, and then kind of ran out because they didn't give us like that many really new tracks in addition to city tracks. So most of the rest of the list were city related. But Larry, you actually asked a good question about GameCube Nintendo tracks. If you want to jump into that, it's a good time to bring it up.
I have to open it first.
Which, by the way, this might be a good time just to show him your shirt. Larry, I love it every time I see it.
So yeah, do you think we will ever get a new GameCube track? The last time they added a GameCube track was in the New York tour. That was Yoshi's Circuit and Dino Dino Jungle. It also has been a while since the last N64 track. N64 Choco Mountain was added back in July 2020 in the Explanation tour. Kalimaya Desert 2, I think, doesn't count, but that was like one tour later. What do you think? What retro tracks do you want to see?
You want to take it first? Because I missed the whole GameCube Nintendo era. So what would be some options from the list?
I would say GCN Daisy Cruiser. That was also in Mario Kart 7, and they really like to add retro tracks for Mario Kart 7 to the game. Like we have like I think 10 out of the 16 retro tracks for Mario Kart 7 are in this game.
Was it Mario Kart 7 that I think it was like called Music Park? That was a fun track. I think that'd be cool to have like a music park come and have like a new musician alt. So it'd be like musician Mario versus another musician, and they release the music park track. That'd be cool.
Okay, now everyone, mark this in Kart Talk 11 at what is this, like 35 minutes, and 2 months from now, when this exact idea comes,
maybe we joke that we.
By the way, I think we're on episode 13. We're cruising now. This is lucky 13. So it's fun to see it go. But other GameCube Nintendo tracks. What do you think, guys?
I mean, I never had a GameCube, so I literally had to look at tracks like earlier today, and there were 2 that stuck out, and I thought to myself, if that ever came into the game, people would be like, what in the world have they done? And it's Sherbet Land or something. I think it's Sherbet Land. And I saw it and I was watching it and I went, you can go all over the place. I thought there's no route that you can take. And I was like, okay, you go to the left, you go around the mountain and everything, you come back around the track and you got to go again, and you go down the center, you got an egg that's there and it's rolling around, and I'm thinking that track is just total chaos, but that would be so good. People would absolutely be thinking, how in the world do you grind this track? And yeah, it was like I was just there just like watching it, and I thought, I need a GameCube. That's what I was saying, I need a GameCube, because I was just there and I thought, wow. And the other one that I saw was Jungle Parkway, I think that's its name. And I did actually
That's
like
from N64.
Yeah,
So
and I looked at it and I thought, I like the look of that one as well, because I mean, it's just a simple track, you can just go around, you can do like all your mini beats and everything like that, and yada yada. And I thought, yeah, those 2 would just be really great tracks to bring into the game. But that Sherbet Land one, I thought, that's crazy. I thought, that's sick. I thought, that's beautiful. Sorry guys, like if it comes into the game, it's my fault.
Do you have a Wii, by the way?
I do have a Wii, yes, but
yeah, you can put a GameCube game in a Wii. Just do that.
It's at my mum's. Mine's just 200 miles away. Because
never mind then. Try to help you out there. But other answers for the GameCube Nintendo.
Speaking of Wii, I would really like to see Peach from there, and what's it called? The Mushroom George, is it not? Is it called where you have like do this? Like it was so fun. I love that one, and is it Toad Factory? It's called.
Yeah.
And Luigi Stadium. I love those. Like, I really want to see some of the retracks here in this game. They were so fun, and I think a lot of us played it like back in the days when Wii was popular.
Well, that's sounds like a good question for the Wii, but I'm sure, Larry, bring us back to GameCube, Nintendo. What would you probably had something in mind? What do you think?
No, actually, Waluigi Stadium and Peach Beach are on Mario Kart Wii, but those are GameCube tracks. So
There you go. Would those be the top of your list?
What?
Would those be the top of your list?
Yeah, I mean, Mario Kart Wii was like, okay, now Mario Kart Tour is the most played game for me, but I would say then I would just want all the tracks from Mario Kart Wii just in the game, please.
I love it.
Everything.
Okay, so I never owned a GameCube, but my friend owned a GameCube, so I remember playing on theirs, and there was one like it was the most simple race, but I think it was like
Baby Park was just
Baby Park.
it's literally just like the yeah.
Like that would, part of me is like that'd be fun, like in the sense of like to release some more baby drivers or like have all the baby drivers featured in it, but it's like the most boring track ever.
No, most chaotic.
Yeah.
My son, it just reminded me too. It's actually it's unique in that it has 7 laps for.
That's true.
That's true. Good one, guys. All right. Well, great questions there. Appreciate that. But it's really hard, at least in the back of my mind, to get any of these questions out without talking about Singapore, guys. One of the cool parts about recording this on a Friday compared to, I think we were early on recording a lot of these on Thursdays. It was right before we were talking about what's coming next. And then literally by the time the video was released, we already knew what was coming up next. But now we know this is awesome timing for us to jump into Singapore, which I think this is actually a good time to actually take a video from one of our members that have, let me see if I can pull this up. Give me one minute, second. Hold up. All right, I got it. Now I'm going to pull it up. Here we go. Have you ever seen this person before?
What?
Here we go. Let's check it out.
Hi guys, Nathalie here. First of all, I just want to say thank you to Studfit and all of the members in this community for making it such an awesome place to be in. So since the announcement today of the next city tour, which is Singapore, I would like to know what city have you guys been in and would like to see implemented in the game and why? And then my next question is for Larry98, which is, what is your favorite Taylor Swift album and why? Have a good evening.
Awesome. Well, we'll address the most important first. Larry98, what is your favorite Taylor Swift album?
That's a really good question. I would say Red. I mean, I have to say Red, right? Yeah.
Okay. Good answer. Good answer. All right. So the question is, what city have you been in that you think would make a great track and tour for Mario Kart Tour? What do you guys think?
Zermatt, Switzerland. I still think it'd be so cool to go around the Matterhorn. I think that's so we went backpacking in Switzerland and we did like a 10-day backpack trip throughout it and stuff. And we like woke up one morning super early and went like up to the Matterhorn and like hiked down to it. And there's like this it's called Lake Riflesea. It's this gorgeous lake with like the Matterhorn reflected in it. So it'd be so cool to like go up like the train tracks and like down the lake and like up the mountain. I don't know. I think it'd be a blast.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, it was a blast.
What else, guys?
I would like to see Athens in it. I think it's really beautiful city with a lot of architecture. It's like so pretty. I could see that being like maybe an Olympic tour where we get all that.
Yeah, they could have definitely done that this past year with the Olympics. I know some were talking about doing like a Tokyo for it, but they could have done Athens too, and taking it way back. I like it.
I would like to see Bologna in Italy, because I go there quite a lot. And the one thing that I do like about the actual place is that it's got one of the oldest universities in Europe. I think it's over 300 years old. It's got the piazza, which is for like all the arcades, where like you can go shopping, you can just walk through, you can just have something to eat. The airport's just been revamped as well, and that just looks absolutely fantastic. You've got Parco della Montagnola as well, which is just on the outskirts near the rail station. And I think that if they can get that tour, like, that would be absolutely amazing. But I mean, just going there alone, it is a breathtaking city. And I go there, well, I did go there like every year, at least 3 times. But yeah, since travel restrictions and everything, I've not been there for a while. But yeah, I'd like to see that city come into the game.
As somebody who had an American education, I'm pretty sure you just made all those cities up. I also did have to Google Earth where Singapore was, so don't judge me. I would say I love this question, by the way. A city, one that I haven't been to personally, but one I think would make an amazing tour would be Prague. Just a beautiful, beautiful city from what I hear. And the ones I've been to, I'd say Barcelona. Just amazing architecture. If you're into Gaudi, you got the Sagrada Familia, like the beautiful church, and then all the way down to like the beach and everything. So I think that would be pretty cool.
Okay, sincere question. So I was able to go to like the Great Wall of China before, and I think that that would be such a cool trek, like in China somewhere. But do you think a Japan game would ever like have a China course?
No. In fact, like we were talking about.
Oh no! Okay, everybody look like Studfit.
Back.
Oh, now you're back. Yeah. Okay, sorry, we were just making fun of you.
Oh my gosh. Sorry about that. No, they cannot play the game in China. Like there's it's not just like a rift between them. Like they won't let people in China play this game because it is made in Japan. And so I don't see them doing that. But that's that's only, I mean, they can do it whatever they want, but I don't see them doing it. This might be a good time for me to give my answer because it's kind of similar. I like the answer of the wall. I've been to, I'm probably closer to Chris when it comes to how often I've traveled, but we went on like a little European cruise, I guess now 3 or 4 years ago, and then went to some of the standard places, Rome and Florence, and we went to a couple of different places. But we also went to Croatia, and there was this town, Dubrovnik, and it actually is one of the main places that they filmed for. Trying to think of it now. I keep wanting to say Lord of the Rings, but it's not Lord of the Rings. It's
Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones. It was the #1 filming spot. So I actually got this like a 3D like land. So you can see it's got all these different like castle-esque. You drive, but what if you drove up on the wall? Kind of similar to you were talking about with the Great Wall of China. You got to drive up on there, and you can see like how cool it would be to like swerve and move around, and then you can maybe jump up, jump down. There's even like like a cool little area in here that's like more like a sailing port type of thing. So for me, that would be my answer. Dubrovnik, Croatia, very, very cool place to visit if you haven't. But that would be my answer. What do you guys think?
What's that city in Greece with all the white buildings? I always see photographs of it.
Yeah. So that was on the cruise as well. I'm trying to remember.
It's not Santorini.
Again, American education. I don't know what these countries are.
I think it's Santorini.
Is it Santorini?
Santorini.
Yeah. That would be beautiful.
That would be nice. Going down the hill.
Mm-hmm.
That would be awesome. Great answer so far. Anyone else want to toss out another? I love this question.
I think one of the places I'd like to see, which I've never had the pleasure to go to, but I'm hoping to get there, when I get to the States, is the Grand Canyon. Okay. I would love to see the Grand Canyon in the game, only because I've never been. I don't know how big it is. I know like it stretches over a couple of states, I think. I'm not too sure. I'm probably wrong. But I think that would be a really nice track to do where like if like you could actually go down into the crevices and everything, and just like zip around again. And I don't know, I've got no idea at all what is around there. I don't even know what state it's even in. So sorry.
You can take like helicopter like rides down in there, so that there could even be like maybe a really creative way to like either incorporate that into like a glider section, or like you have to glide down and through the Grand Canyon, and then like you start on top and finish on the bottom or something. That might be like really cool.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. What if? Sorry, go ahead.
Louise.
Yeah, I think also because like we have had like US, we had like Europe, we had Asia, like Australia. So maybe something from Africa. That would be nice. They have some beautiful safari tour. But it like make something.
We're still waiting for Cairo. Cairo's got to happen one day.
Yeah.
It's not as cool. Like it's not like it's so much closer to Europe. I doubt it's like, as like African. I know what you're talking about. Like, you want like, lions and tigers and elephants and crocodiles and like everyone attack. I think that's awesome. And what if you put like Mario in a elephant suit or a crocodile suit or something? I'm all about it. I love that.
What if you put Bowser in a tiger suit?
Yeah, Explorer Mario, like Peach Explorer Mario.
Ooh, yeah.
And your cart could be like a safari like Jeep. You know what I mean? Like something like that. Be pretty cool.
Hey, they could even go around Kilimanjaro or something like this, like go up the mountain.
That'd be cool.
And it's like jump over the top.
Kilimanjaro. Yeah. I love it. Love it. Great question so far. We have a couple more. We really want to get into some of the Singapore questions. Puffton asked an awesome question. I'm kind of getting through this because she asked really 3 great questions. I don't want to skim over any of them by slamming them together. But how do you guys feel about Singapore in general as a new city tour? I think this might overlap with some of our other questions for the tour, so don't worry about that. But let's just talk Singapore. How do you guys feel about Singapore being the new city?
I'm excited.
Yeah, it's great.
Excited only because
looks really good.
First of all, shout out to Captain Evan because he actually called it. So yeah, well done. And
so I heard he called it. What exactly? So this past tour, I guess he said Singapore will be the new city, or what was the shot that he called?
He was referring to what if like we had a new cities tour and if it was Singapore. So I think I think John said, well, if like we had a whole collection, and he said, no, I want Singapore. And when he said I want Singapore, it was like, you won't believe what the track is. It's Singapore. And he went, oh no way. I called it. And he was just like so excited this morning in the server. And it was like, yeah, well done. Congratulations. And he was so tired. He was sat up for like an extra 15 minutes. He was going on and on and on. And they went, yeah, congratulations. You did it. So, we were talking about it and stuff. And we said that, well, I said, I like the car. I said, I like the track. The name Speedway alone is literally the first thing that I've heard from anything like that whatsoever from Mario Kart. So I think it's going to be a really exciting tour. I am looking forward to it. And I just hope that they get it right. Just begging, please just get it right.
I like it. And you got to get excited about this Merlion, right?
Yeah. Oh, I'm a Leo. Yeah.
Oh.
I need that car in my life.
Looks nice. Yeah.
I think FrenzyFans is a Leo as well. Yeah. So yeah, no, we have to represent for this car. We need this car. Yeah. So
first I thought it was the character from Odyssey, Mario Odyssey, the little lion thing that you get on.
I think it's a Merlion or something.
Yeah.
As.
It's not. It's not the same thing, but it just kind of like visually, like the front of it being lionish, kind of looked like it.
It just reminds me
like the one
of Narnia. Aslan. So I'm gonna call it the Aslan car.
Aslan, nice. Yeah, it looks like it's going to have a nice hitbox. We've already had people say like, when it comes out, let's do a little comparison there because it looks awesome. I am so excited about it. I'm literally saving up every car ticket, waiting for that moment because I want to take it to 7 right away. I don't even care what overlap it has. Like it looks like an awesome cart. What else are you guys excited about?
I'm excited for a new city track. Like lastly, like it's just been like remakes or part 2 of this, like the city courses we had. So it's like nice to have something new in the game. and it looks beautiful. So I'm excited for that.
Yeah, I've probably done more research on Singapore today than I have ever before in my life. And I've heard it's a great place to visit. It's like actually like a really great, like, you know, honeymoon place or somewhere, because like you're there and you're like in a whole different, I know every country's like that, but you are like, it is very different from any other culture. But it's also very high tech, and it's really good. You know, bang for your buck. Like you get a lot for your money over there. Like I've heard only great things about it. From looking at some of the buildings though, it looks like there's everything about it looks awesome. So I'm really stoked about it. Puffton asks question number 2. Do you feel that these cities are being accurately represented in a way that satisfies who lives in them? She kind of gives some examples. You know, we saw in Berlin that Lederhosen is actually Bavarian. It's not German. Or Waluigi bus driver having a tartan, which is actually Scottish, and it was during a London tour. So you know, from that perspective, we may not know. Like to me, it's like I don't know if it's, you know, Bavarian or German. Who cares, right? It's to me, it's like it's just fun to have like a nice little thing, but it also could be, you know, inaccurate. So I think kind of leading into her last question, thinking about your own city. You know, we've already talked about where we live, and that, you know, now kind of jump into, and I love how everyone kind of lives in a different part. Even here, the 3 places in the United States, very different cultures from one another. But if your city was representing the game, what features would you want to see, and what would you want them to not mess up, or what would be some misconceptions about your city that you hope they got right? And we'll let everyone answer this question, because I would love to hear how everyone's you know, because every culture is a little different. How about we start with you, Nathalie?
Okay. I know my city is small. I don't know what to.
Well, what would be like would Amsterdam be like the largest city closest to you, or no?
Amsterdam is it's not in Denmark. It's in Holland. It's Copenhagen that's the biggest city here in Denmark. Yeah, and that's okay close. I would like to, like, I don't know, we have this round tower. I think that's really nice. Like we have a lot of, like Denmark is like a lot. We have like this New Haven, like it's really beautiful. I would like to see them represent that, like, because we have a lot of old architecture here in Denmark. So I would hope they would represent that and like keep that. Maybe also go to the Little Mermaid statue we have here.
God, I love a little Mermaid. ThisBeChris, what about Philadelphia?
Philly could be fun. You could actually have, like, you know, the spectators throwing things at you.
Little American joke there. Yeah, the sports fans in Philly are not easy to get along with. They have a very short fuse.
But I mean, you know, Philadelphia is one of the, you know, it's in the top 10, you know, largest cities in the US. There's a lot, you know, I'm sure if they ever did do Philly, they'd do like the art museum area with, you know, the Rocky statue. Philadelphia has probably, I think, one of the most beautiful city halls. And then probably like the historical section of Philadelphia, where you have, like, you know, like one of the first streets. And then of course, you know, with the Constitution Hall with the Liberty Bell and all that stuff in there. So it would actually be a pretty cool course, I think. So
I could see finally the first reskin of the Fast Frank. It would be the Philadelphia cheesesteak.
Cheesesteak. Yeah.
You're making me hungry.
Yeah, late night snack there. Angelita, why don't you take it next then?
Well, because I live in Wales, I would want to see Caerphilly Castle, because it's one of the oldest castles that's closest to me, and like there's a lot of trails that go around. So even though it's like ruins and everything, that's like, yeah, it's like they'd have to get it right, because like there's a massive moat that goes all the way around it. And as you're going through Caerphilly town itself, cool, you can hit onto another trail, which leads you then to another castle, which is a red castle. So yeah, it's all about castles and dragons down here. That's what it's all about. So yeah, it's
Vampire Flyer. There you go.
But yeah, I mean, it's like we have like a new hospital as well, which is just down the road from me. So whenever people do come here, they mainly come for the cheese. Although, sorry, but I've never sampled Caerphilly cheese. But I mean, no, I would like to see it represented, and obviously, you know, just get it right and just put Caerphilly on the map rather than Cardiff, because everyone goes to Cardiff, but not everybody comes into the lovely Welsh valleys. So
I like it. What about you, Larry?
Yeah, we already have Berlin in this game, so but I think like they more make it so like how other people from other countries see like the country. So like when they think about Germany, they think about beer, they think about Oktoberfest, they think about Berlin, they think about Lederhosen, they think about Dirndl. So that's why they always do it like this, yeah. And then if you live in the country, you are like, that doesn't really make sense what they're doing, but yeah.
So when they come back and do Berlin 1, because I'm sure that'll happen, what would you want the new Kart or glider or reskin? I mean, what would you want them to get right if they came back?
I don't really know, but I think that they will do a female Dirndl version of a character. Even when that's also not correct, but
I mean, at this point in time, they're just doing whatever they want anyway. So, yeah, exactly. FrenzyFans, you guys are in the South. Hot Atlanta. What would they do to best represent the ATL?
Yeah, so whenever you come to Atlanta, like you have to hit up the aquarium. It used to be like the #1 largest aquarium in the world until like someplace, I think in Japan, like took it over like maybe 10 or 20 years ago. And then there's like Olympic Park down there, and I don't know, like Stone Mountain. It's kind of far away, but you know, Mario doesn't care. They can just kind of like smash everything together. Like the Olympics were here, and so there's like some like Olympic things that they have around. Oh, World of Coke. It'd be fun to like drive through World of Coke, but like all the licensing stuff, like there's no way that's gonna happen.
It'd be cool if they did the aquarium though. There's this one, like it's one of those, it's a massive aquarium, but there's like this long walkway where you can go through, and there's like water all around you, and there's just like fish everywhere. And then they have the huge like arena wall where it's just like 3 stories worth of like the big fish wall. You see it like in a lot of like romantic movies where they have dinner in front of it and all that type of stuff.
It's like an IMAX sized like piece of glass that you see like the entire whale as it like swims across. You can see it's something else. It's really cool.
Yeah. Oh. And then hopefully the new Mercedes-Benz Stadium, because that place is cool.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Yeah, I've been to Atlanta a couple of times. I absolutely love the city, but you know, there's not as many like landmarks as say Philadelphia or whatnot. I would say it would be great for Atlanta to just have like cars everywhere, and you have to swerve through traffic because we're one of the worst traffic cities in America. So like, that'd be great. Just, you know, like I'm trying to think, what is that? The old Toads Highway or whatever. I'm trying to remember it. I'm sure Larry can help me out with the name of it, but
you know,
like
you kept having to dodge the cars.
Yeah, to dodge all the other cars that are coming right at you. It would be like that.
Yeah.
Yep, Toads Turnpike, you got it.
Oh man, absolutely. Yeah.
Was that Wii or 64?
I think it was 64.
64, yeah. But
I remember.
Made in Mario Kart 8.
Yeah. Nice. I'll have to go back. I will say, so I live in Richmond, Virginia, which is it's actually a decently sized city. It was a capital of the South, you know, during the Civil War, and there's a lot of history to it. It's actually known as the River City. So it'd be kind of cool. I'm thinking, because I know Angelita loves Cheap Cheap Lagoon. So if it's kind of like that, where you're kind of going in the water, in the river, up, there's like a lot of totally being sarcastic there, but no, it would be cool. We have like these like land bars where you can kind of go up there. There's a lot of kayaking. There's like a lot of cool stuff you can do with water. So kind of going in the water, out of the water, you know, similar to kind of how Bowser's Castle is here. We do have a AAA baseball team called the Flying Squirrels. So it'd be kind of cool to have some kind of flying squirrel costume, or I know the licensing would be all terrible, whatever, but go buy the diamond and do that. And we've got Monument, it's called Monument Road, I think, but it's like, it actually was in the news a lot here recently because they've been taking down the landmarks. Monument Avenue. Yeah, they've been taking them down because they have like the Confederate leaders on there. So
if he's playing for something like that, and they opened it up recently on the news. Was it last week they opened it? They took down a statue or something, and as they were removing the actual plinth for it, they found a red box and they opened it, and it had a picture of Lincoln in it, and it had books and coins and stuff. I'm sure it was in Virginia somewhere, but I'm not too sure. It might have been Richmond, but I know they took. I think it was Robert E. Lee or something. I think his name was, and they took it down and they found it right underneath.
Wow. I hadn't read that. I'll have to check that out. But yeah, I mean, we have, you know, basically anyone that was a Confederate leader had their own statue, and they got vandalized and stuff a couple of years ago, and then they took them down, and it was a big ordeal. Anyway, but that road is like a beautiful road. There's you know, roundabouts, and that'd be really cool. And then I live about 2 hours away from DC. DC, I think, would be a phenomenal city to have Mario Kart Tour in. You know, you got so many great landmarks, and like I love when I would travel for work, I would love to go to cities and just run in the city. Just in the morning, I've run in Atlanta, I've run in Philadelphia. I absolutely love running in cities early in the morning. DC is one of my favorite. I have like a 5K path, and you get to see the Lincoln Memorial. You see the White House. You see everything that you want to see. And then like do it in the springtime when we have like these all these beautiful springtime flowers. And what are they called with the I'm trying to remember the name of the tree that's like this bright pink. It's absolutely
Japanese tree, right?
Oh.
Oh, he's frozen. It's not the Japanese.
No, it's not that. It'll come to me literally as we're talking about something else. But yeah, I think that would be an awesome part of like Mario Kart Tour if they did DC. We still got some
trees.
Cherry tree. Yep.
The Japanese
That's
cherry
it.
tree.
Yeah,
They're pretty. They're super pretty.
Yeah,
All right, we're still in Singapore though, so you know we've traveled around the world. We talk about places we've been, where we live. Let's get back to the elephant in the room, Luigi vacation, right? So there's we've had this debate. Instantly, we saw him like, oh, he looks just like Mario Sunshine. He's got to have giant banana, and then we saw his shirt, and we're like, oh, he's got mushrooms all over his shirt. So what skill is Luigi vacation gonna have?
Triple mushroom.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think so as well.
Cannon.
Yeah, triple mushroom. I'm thinking it's got to be something that's got to compete with Mario, because Sunshine Mario's already got the giant banana, so I can't see them giving him giant banana as well, because there's going to be no point. Because personally, I wouldn't pull for him if they gave him that skill. But I think it's got to be something that can compete with him. It's got to be something that's just as fast. It's got to be something that's just worthwhile to have. So if they can get Luigi's skill right, they can put Luigi back into the game, because we've wanted an alt for him anyway. We wanted one before Christmas, didn't get one. Sorry. But I think that with him joining on to this one now, like, yeah, this new Singapore track, if they get his skill right and give him triple mushroom, yeah. But then again, even though he's got a mushroom shirt, doesn't necessarily mean that he's going to have mushroom, because they might try and bamboozle us and give him something else. So yeah, Nintendo
just change his shirt altogether. That'd be kind of
well.
funny.
That's it.
That'd be a great troll. That'd be great.
That would be the troll of all trolls.
Can I just say though, like RIP Mario Sunshine, he already has 11 city tracks. Now he's coming back and gonna get city buffs. Poor guy. He might be the most useless plus skill driver other than Party Time Pauline. And he's one of my favorite aesthetically, but you know, what can you do?
Yeah, man, it's gonna be tough. I will say, you know, we've had in the past these situations where Nintendo, like as soon as we get a coin boxer, we're also met with another great skill. You know, they've done it a few times. I think probably 4 times so far this year. I'm thinking about King Bob-omb Gold with Shy Guy Ninja, Toilet Paper Mario with Painter Luigi, Kamek with Yoshi Kangaroo. We got Meowser, and so you know, I think from my perspective, the best way for Nintendo to make the most money is to give Luigi an awesome skill, so much so that we have to go back into this pipe, even though we are all, especially the free-to-play, are like, oh no, give me a filler tour, give me some savings. But like this seems to be a trend. And so, you know, I think, man, it's so tough, right? Because we're all like, he has mushrooms on him. He's going to be mushroom, but we all want giant banana. If I had to place my bets, I would be so torn. I don't know which way I'd go. What you guys got to help me out here. What do you think do you think it's going to be mushroom related? Do you think it's going to be triple mushroom cannon? Or do you think we're going to get what we really want, which is giant banana or maybe even a triple banana?
I think it's going to be mushroom.
Yeah.
It's going to be triple mushroom.
I'm going to be careful how I answer that question.
Why would they give him a mushroom shirt? I mean, that would just be confusing. I don't remember half the names anyways. So if they could just literally put their skill on all of their outfits, that would be really helpful.
Like little pins.
Yeah.
Like a boomerang. Oh, yeah, he's got boomerang.
Totally.
I like it. Well, you alluded to this earlier, FrenzyFans guy. You talked a little bit about the Twitter video. The video, describe it for us and then talk about a little bit about your opinion.
About the Singapore video?
The Twitter video about multiple cities. Some are talking already about these.
Gotcha.
That like, the whole tour could be all cities.
Yeah. So like on the Twitter thing, they said like retweet this, and when you retweet it, you'll end up getting back like a special video of a city course. And I think it was like 9 different ones, and like there was one in the middle that had like a question mark. So my first reaction or thought was like, oh my gosh, like we're gonna get every single course to be city courses, you know, for I mean, I think they said it was 9 courses.
Mm-hmm.
And if they give us 4 courses per city, then that's 36. Granted, you know, they'll probably like put in the new Singapore, you know, twice, which is what they usually do. So anyway, yeah. So I don't know. I think the last time that there were like a bunch of city tracks, I think people were excited about it at first, but then after the end of the 2 weeks, it was like, oh,
it really is fun, like seeing all the cities and like being like that's what you would think the game would be, Mario Kart Tour, like taking you on a tour around the world and stuff. And so it's really neat for a while, but then
they've just trained us so well to not like it when our favorite stuff or stuff that we think that has value gets these city tracks that only show up one time in the entire game, like the existence of the game. Like, why do that? Yeah, it doesn't make sense to me. And we've all been, you know, brainwashed or come to the conclusion that this is how maybe this is like a turning point where I mean, we've said this before, but you know, 2022, maybe they're out of COVID, they've got a lot more programmers, they're like, okay, this is what we actually intended this game to be, like when it came out in 2019, and now we actually have the horsepower to be able to do all this, and so maybe the whole meta strategy is going to change. And now if your favorite things have city courses and city courses start coming in the rotation, it's like, oh, okay, well, that's fine. I guess that Chemic had, you know, some Australia, you know, Sydney ones or whatever. So I don't know. We'll have to see. I'm not looking forward to like nothing on the top shelf though for a bunch of city.
I was gonna say it's gonna send me back to like a free to play account if it's all city tracks.
Yeah, it's gonna be a little rough.
I mean, I think that, I mean, yeah, I'm not a day one player, so for me, the name Mario Kart Tour means going around the world in cities. That's how I see it. And I'm not I didn't see it as a game where you go on to tracks like Donut Plains, or you go underwater, or you hit a rainbow road in space. You know, I'm thinking to myself, okay, you're going to tour the world and see cities. And if they have got the manpower backing, you know, I can be in COVID-free and everything, and if they can get the designers back in to come up with new stuff, then to me, this is what the game's meant to be about. You're meant to be touring the cities around the world. Yeah, fair enough, thinking like a couple of others, but keep it based on what it's about. So yeah, 2022 is going to be an interesting year for where they take the game, to be honest. And if it is a case of they are getting back on track with it, then it'll be interesting to see what happens and how many people continue playing. Because yeah, city tracks can be boring after a while, and you just think, oh God, I've got to do it again. And it's like after 1 week, you just get so bored and you're like, okay, next tour, please. So, you know, it will be interesting.
I think in a perfect world, I mean, man, it's gonna be tough. I think that my prediction is that they will have all city tracks next tour, and it'll be all cities. And I think we'll be using a lot of Mario Sunshine because he's got a lot of cities. And you know what? It's going to be probably the most fun tour to enjoy. I will say, if Nintendo ever were to release player level 200, this would be the one time where we would welcome it and say, all right, you know what? You're giving me all these tracks. I'm willing to grind with these tracks, and now knowing that I can get that XP, see it go up. And so my opinion is, if they're ever going to release it, this would be the time to do it. Just putting it out there. We'll see if that happens. But I think in a perfect world going forward, I just want it to be like mixed in with everything else. It doesn't have to be all cities, every single tour, but just like, you know, I remember, I think it was like a Valentine's tour, maybe right before Valentine's tour last year, where they gave us like, I think it was, you know, Paris and London or something like that. It's like, why not do that? Why not just give us you know, one version or, you know, one set of versions of a city every single tour. So, you know, it's New Year's tour with Bowser Castle, and, you know, here's also Sydney, and, you know, like, why not do that and just give us a little bit more access than what we've had? That would be my wish for 2022. Now, of course, everything I've ever wished on this platform is they've gone the exact opposite way and made me look like an idiot. So I doubt that's going to happen, but that would be really what I would love. What do you guys think about these multiple cities in that specific video? If you didn't see that video, what do you think about cities in general? How would you like to see them implemented in 2022?
Yeah, this is something I felt, I haven't seen the video. This is something I felt pretty strongly about from the beginning, you know, that there should just be, so like just for fun, I went and looked at like this tour, sort of the 9th cup, right? We have Peach Cup, you have an RMX track, you know, an SNES track, and Calamari Desert Tea is an N64 track. Like there's no theme there, you know, that has nothing to do with Peach, you know, like there's no reason you couldn't have London Laps 2, just replacing Donut Plains 1. But I think as you were talking, I was kind of thinking it might be kind of fun too, to kind of incorporate what you were just saying. If, let's say, like the 10th, 11th, or 12th would start off, you know, hidden for most people. If you don't data mine, what if it was just like, we all know like the third tour or track or whatever these are called, group cups, the third cup is going to be like the second rank. But what if it just was like all of a sudden now the 10th or 11th cup is going to be cities?
Yeah.
You know, so you might get, you know, New York this, Vancouver that, or whatever, but you know, whenever you get to it, that's what it's going to be. And I think it'd just be cool. It would also, you know, alter the meta level strategies and give the whales something else to factor in investing tickets. You know, because I think if you shift the meta too much, then you might irritate the people that have invested a lot of money very specifically to maximize their loadouts and stuff. So, but I think you can do it a little bit. I think you can tweak it and introduce more cities without you know, messing things up.
Makes sense.
What if we combine the two questions and the only way to get tokens is on city tracks, and they have one cup where it's all city?
I like it.
I like it. The other big news this week, this Hero Octopus,
Hero
Octolus. It's we've had this crazy ridiculous ranked with this hero character. You've seen his little signature hero. I think he scored, what was it, 163,000 points.
162.
See that I have him.
62, I think.
Raise your hand if you have him. We'll just put it that. I don't have him. That's fan guy, right? Yeah. So I think there's I think about 30 or so in ER that have him, and I know that there's like another 30 in Carlos in Sammy's server, and I know there's like this ongoing list. What do you think is happening, guys?
I think that Nintendo have done it purposely to slow the game down in terms of level 70, only because this is the first time that I've ever heard of this happening since I've been playing. And the thing is that he's got an amazing score, you know, and the only person that I know that can even touch him is JP. I think his score is, well, last time I checked, it was 162,874, I think it was. And like he was beating him back. No, was it 874 or something? Yeah, he was, or 884, I think it was. And he was beating him by 74 points. But I think that they've done it purposely to see how people are going to react to it. Because if you think about it, if you know that you've not had that high score before, then how are you suddenly going to get that high score now? So if you're unlucky to have both of these two guys in your ranks, there's only one space here for one more person to stay in tier 70. Everyone else is going to rank down. So I think they've done it purposely to slow the game down to see who's good. And I mean, there was another question actually as well that I mentioned to the podcast, which kind of ties into it, but I'm not going to get into that now anyway. But I think that, yeah, they've done it purposely to see who's good, to see who's one of the best players, to see who's actually doing the game themselves. Because if you have someone who's never achieved that score and all of a sudden they're up there, you're going to be thinking, wait a minute, you've never done that before. But I think they've done it as well just to monitor people's accounts and see what's going on, like I say, to kind of bring them down and try and slow it down just a little bit to make them work just a little bit harder. But it is something that I've never seen before in my entire time of playing the game. But props to Inogia for a great score. You know, well done, seriously, because it's phenomenal. I was like, oh my gosh, wow, what's going on? And it's like, it broke on Wednesday. I'm like, wait, this guy's got like 162. What in the world's going on? And someone's like, oh, I've got him. What? Like, yeah, I've got him too. Huh? And it's like, we're going through the list. And yeah, I mean, I actually ranked down, which I'm not ashamed to say, but I'm happy because I'm fortunate enough not to have him. So yeah,
I logged in and I logged in and saw I saw top 10 player. I was like, okay, no, I'm screwed. And then I only saw the question marks because he hadn't logged in. So I thought, oh, maybe I can reach out to him. Please don't grind that much. I have you in my rank. And then when I logged in late, like a little bit later, I saw his score and I was like, oh no. Like this is like, and it's like he grinded first week, but I think maybe it could be as like, maybe they think people are like using their tickets now, and then next tour Luigi Vacation will have it, and his set will have awesome skills and great value, and we all have spent our tickets triple capping Meowser, triple capping, what's his name, the Mario, what's his name, Tuxedo Mario, and all the items there. So none of us will have tickets to use on them because we all try to push for that. Maybe it could be that.
I think it could be one of two. Well, okay, I'm sure there's like a million different reasons why they've done it. But one, I think it could be that they're trying to throttle the whales and like make you guys slow down a little bit, and also like keep rubies from you. That's one theory. But another theory I thought about a lot too is I wonder if it's just one big psychological test to see if like there's like this premise called like limits of conventional thinking, right? So like for like years, nobody could break the 4-minute mile. Like it was the thing that everybody was trying to do, like in the Olympics and everything. Nobody could break it until one person broke it. And because that one person broke it, it like opened up the belief system of like everybody else. And then that just became like a normal time that like it's conventional now that everybody beats the 4-minute mile who's like really, really competitive. So it might just be one of those things. Like I know when everybody like logged in at first, everybody was like, there's no way, we're all screwed, right? But like Frenzy fanboy here, he was like, this is horrible, but he's been pushing it really hard. And what are you at right now?
So I don't know if you can see, but he's got 162 and I've got 158.
Wow.
So originally when the tour first opened, I got 55,500 on Bowser's Castle T.
Wow.
And I originally thought that I got placed against him because I ended up getting that run. But then seeing, you know, so many other people getting him, I was like, oh, okay, that's not the case. And I don't know if you saw our video or not, but like when I was talking about it, I was like, I'm so close, but yet so far away. I was like 8,000 away. And then I was like, if I could just get like 4,000 more on just the other 2 courses, like it might be something that I could do. And so today I was grinding on the Chaco Mountain RT and ended up getting like 219 actions, nonstop combo. It was a coin box, 2 coin frenzies with like 3 normal coin boxes.
Wow.
And so I got 54,000 on that one. And now like Rainbow Road 2, I've calculated it all out. If I level up my my cart, or not level it up, but if I uncap it, I only need 217 actions on it. And I can actually go back to Bowser's Castle T. I might have a little bit more room there because that was just a banana frenzy with a coin box frenzy and then like 2 coin boxes. So if I could replace that banana frenzy with like another coin frenzy or a coin box frenzy, I don't know. Like now I'm actually kind of excited. Like, so here's the thing is I've noticed the past couple months that the ranking system, I almost think that they have like some really good algorithm that actually tries to push you, and you can either like accept the challenge or not, right? So like Carlos, he opens up his app and he's got the video that says, I'm gonna have to spend like what 60 tickets total. Like he had to level stuff up, he had to uncap stuff, but it was a challenge for Carlos, right? Like when has Carlos ever been challenged, or has it been a thing? I can count on one hand, probably just needing 2 fingers of that one hand, to have videos where Carlos is like, oh my gosh. I think one was when he got matched up against Zephiel.
That 16 hours where he's going for number 1 overall. Yeah.
And and this one where, it's this brand new track that, he didn't have the loadouts to be able to like completely cream everyone. And there was someone that actually challenged him. And I don't know, now, like, I'm actually kind of excited to just have like the opportunity to try and stretch myself to try and get there. And I don't know, now I'm almost kind of thinking, and I don't want this to come across the wrong way at all, because I believe that there is a randomness to the game, but I kind of feel like it's a compliment. Like if Mario's seeing me, especially this tour, because I'm really trying to get like top 100, which isn't something that I do a whole lot, and he sees that I'm producing scores that are with, kind of like the upper echelon of players. Well, he's now put me against someone that I would be willing to bet in the first week has the highest ranked score for that cup going into it. So I don't know, like I kind of feel like, oh, like cool, like I was considered to be someone that would have the possibility of trying to stretch myself enough to get to that point. And it's kind of making it exciting. I don't know, like completely different on the first day. Like I was super deflated. I was like, you got to be kidding me. Like I've gotten, I think I remember saying like I have 150 some odd thousand points, which is the most I've ever scored on any cup, especially ranked. And that's only good enough for second. But then like you see Carlos do it and it's like that 4-minute mile thing. He's like, wait, maybe I can, like maybe I'm actually being pushed to do something that I didn't really think that I realized that I could do to begin with. And I don't know, like the second half of the week, I have a completely different mindset on how ranked is versus the first part of the week.
Yeah, I appreciate going into really a very detailed walking through of what you're thinking about. And it's a very unique situation. I will say though, we kind of see like different pools, continuously. So like we'll see there'll be somebody like low on our list, and we'll be like, oh yeah, I got him. I've seen him before. I see this person all the time. So it makes me kind of wonder about the pool and like, what if they're rotating people around? Maybe they're just kind of increasing, turning up the pool a little bit, making the pool a little bit tougher competitors. Because I do sometimes see common names, and I'll talk to so and so, and they'll also have somebody else too. I don't know what's going on. I do think there is something to it. So what it is, I'm not entirely sure. Maybe you guys have some other ideas. Any other hypothesis?
I don't know. Kind of going off of that, there was one week, like I hardly ever get anyone messaging me like, "Oh, you're in my ranked," but there was one specific week where I ended up being in like 10 to 15 different people's ranked, and I was like, I guess my name was like the name that just got splattered everywhere. But so it could just be coincidentally be that, and that guy just got a really good score.
It could be completely random, and dude, it might be that, yeah, someone gets this every tour where they're in a bunch of people's, but rarely is it like someone that's ranked.
Is it the best player of the game?
Making such a high, and it just happened to be random that it popped into like all these people. And now it's more noticeable. Like it could be happening every tour, but it's like the 11th through 15th that, you're not really paying attention to them very much. So. But now everybody's paying attention to him because it's 162 friggin' thousand points.
I think there was one time Larry and I compared like our ranks, and we had the same 5 people in our ranks. It was like the same people. So it's like we had the same exactly 5 people in our ranks, like real players, not the bots. So it's like maybe they're just picking out these persons and giving it to everybody.
I will say, seeing Carlos do it and seeing, FrenzyFans, you're going like seeing 158,000, like that is a huge compliment. That's a really high score. You're not just going to accidentally, stumble your way through that score. So, kudos to you. And I think we're all rooting for you. We're all like, get them, take them out. Yeah. I think in some kind of like justified world, if we ever lived in that type of world, would be like where Hero actually has Carlos in his ranks. Like that would be the perfect way for this to all end. And then Carlos beat him and be like, at least he loses ranked because he's ruining everyone else's ranked.
And what a good ego boost for Hero though. Like having the reaction that the community at large like has had about him, and he is now like this benchmark, right? And kudos to him because I think I've been reading on like some people's Discord. I don't think I've actually seen it from him, but I think he said that he was willing to just stop. Like he's not going to go ahead and like try for more. I think that's like the very good. I think it's good like competitive nature, not to I don't know if you guys heard about the story about the high school football game a couple of months ago where it was like 118-0, like horrible sportsmanship, right? Like I think that Hero, especially since everyone that has him in his rank probably they don't have him. These other players aren't in his rank. But anyway, he's been courteous enough to be like, okay, like I've done well, and now I've kind of set the bar here. Like, let's see who else is like up for the challenge. And I don't know. I think it's fun. I think it's kind of cool.
Yeah, that question actually was submitted both by MKD Ben, who was on Kart Talk before, and E. Deedle. They both asked similar questions about this very unique situation. We'll see what happens going forward. If this is, continues to happen in different forms or whatever. But yeah, you're right. What if Hero just started, he had 50K or something like that on day one, and then it jumped up to 100K, and then it was 120K, and then 130, and then like the whole community is like pissed off at him. But like he came in with that score, it's like, hey guys, I'm sorry, it's not my fault, but if he had just been like running it up, going to, kind of like that football team going 118 points or whatever, like at least, like we don't. To us, he's a legend. I don't think we'll ever forget Hero and those couple symbols there compared to if he had been going up every single day, then we would be hating him. But I think there is some kind of like we feel almost bad for him. It's like, hey, but then also he's put on a pedestal because he's he is possibly the most famous driver of 2022 or player I guess of 2022. Good point there. All right, kind of to switch gears a little bit. I think from that perspective, Night Rosso asked a question. Do you think the aesthetics of an item have anything to do with the value it gets in the future? And furthermore, how can we predict which items in the game will become more valuable in the future? Is it starting availability, aesthetics, item skill, starting value? I mean, why do you think Nintendo picks values of things, and is aesthetics a part of their thought process?
Yes.
Do tell.
I wish I had some profound answer, but I don't know. Yes.
I think it is as well, because I mean, if you think about it, everybody went crazy for Meowser because he's coin box, and then you've got this nice looking new cart that's coming out. So I think that the colours, the descriptions, the items, the driver, it does play an important part to it. But I mean, I think people go for the more popular things, so they can just say, okay, yeah, well, Meowser's good, yeah, so I'm going to get him. Or they can say DK's fantastic, so I'm going to go with him, you know. And the way how they use the actual drivers and the way how they hype them up, it does play a part. And then when we have things like the rundown, and then we figure out exactly where they are in terms of their positions, in terms of their value, their worth, that's when we start to figure out, okay, is it going to be a valuable thing in the game, or is it just going to flop and just disappear after one tour? But it does put the emphasis on, do you want to have it that bad, you know, if that makes kind of sense in a way. But yeah, it's with the way how it works. It's like we've all got this preconception of, if I have this, it's going to be fantastic, and then when it flops hard, then we're thinking, why did I do that? You know, so it's like, I didn't think that Blackbirdo would be so popular because I've never used her either, for example, but she's up there and a lot of people do use her. Or it's like with the Glinting Glider, for example, you know, I think that's level 2 for me, but I've never used it, but a lot of people do use it and it's valuable for them. So I think depending on your overlap, if you've got it, then great, but it does play a serious part in it.
So I'm curious, maybe we can answer this question with a question. Who here has taken a new item and taken it to level 6 or 7 and single or double and triple and capped it and been completely, like, devastatingly, like, disappointed, like complete buyer's remorse, complete ticket spender's remorse, like, oh my gosh, I wasted my resources on that? I don't think I've heard anyone say that.
I think I think this is a recent thing, because I agree with you. I think if you're investing in something, there, in fact, it is now very useful to you. So I agree with you there. I will say there are two situations where I did invest in something I regretted. One was the penguin wingtip. I invested, it was like a commemorative glider, and commemorative things were coming out hot. This was like during the Berlin tour earlier in 2021. And also I knew, like, it wasn't going to be in pipes or anything, or packs, because it was a, commemorative item. So I was like, I'm not worried about pulling it 7 times, and getting coins. So I did that, and it wasn't very useful for a while. Now, later in the summer, it became slightly useful, but it wasn't really. And then I did put a lot of tickets into the safety glider. But these were all, if you hear it, like, these were all, past 11 months ago or earlier. So I think you're right. And recently, I think they're trying to show there is some method. I mean, first of all, it's kind of like your own bias, because it's valuable to you. So of course you're using it. It's valuable to you. And so I think you made a really good point there, and I'll let you, if you want to, if I cut you off there, you could continue. But
no, I mean, like, I think it's like, no matter kind of where on the scale you are, as far as whale or like free to play 0 to 10, I think whatever it is that you decide to invest in, I think it helps you out. I mean, I think the people that end up putting lots of tickets on something that don't end up using it probably aren't even aware that it's something that they've wasted tickets on, because at one point,
good point,
it was either for ranked or for ACR, it was worth doing, right? Like, you got some use out of it. And I think the high, like, endorphin, invoking portion of the game is like when you invest in something early in the game and then it keeps on coming up later. It's like, yes, like I'm getting a return on this. Like it's the stock market, right? Like, oh, cool. Like the stock on this has risen because I get to use the same thing again and get more points with it. And with whales or people that get a lot of things to really high levels, it's now, okay, well, I've got 4 or 5 carts that are all at level 6 or 7 and they're all double uncapped. So it's not really like remorse. It's just, I've used it before. It had some value then, and now it's an option for me. Whereas someone else, it would be like, for example, me this week with like the Silver King and the Dream Glider. Like I've got 2 carts and 2 gliders, and one of them is a Silver King and one is a Dream Glider, and they're both maxed out. And it's like, awesome. This is so cool. You know, it's completely, you know, it's just more dividends. It's like getting more value out of it for free than what, you know, you originally anticipated. But I don't think I've ever like spent a lot of tickets on something. Maybe Penguinette. But she's so new that I think that she might have potential to be like one of those harder rostered ranked drivers that I'll still get some use out of her. But I don't know. I still think it's fun to have her level 6 and single uncapped. I'll probably use her a time or 2 more, but I don't know that I'm like super depressed about, you know, maybe using a lot of tickets on her. So
you bring up a good point. I will say, just to play devil's advocate, we do have these items that I think a lot of people did put a lot of tickets in, such as Romby Runner or Silver King. You know, these type of items that are glorious. They look phenomenal and have been fan favorites. Also happen to be, you know, again, fan favorites because of their aesthetics. Also been great items in the game. So, you know, like the Tabor's algorithm has nothing to do with, you know, whether people pulled it or not. But, you know, these were items that people heavily invested in, and then they became in the top 10. So it makes you wonder, to the opposite side of your point. You know, does Nintendo see how big tickets people are putting on something and realizing, oh, everyone likes this, let's bump this full value?
So like one point is, I was talking with Frenzy Fangirl earlier today. I don't think Satellite Mario or Astro Mario, I don't think I'm using them at all this tour. And when he first came out, I took him to 7 and double uncapped. But I'm not really like, I'm not worried. Like I think he's still got a lot of potential. I think he's going to be useful in the future. It would be nice to maybe be able to use him on some of these tracks this tour that I'm like using supers. But I don't know that, like, I don't know. I still think that, you know, whatever you decide to level up is going to be something that's a strength in your loadout, and it's not really like it's going to be something that you're going to use when you're able to use it. So
let's all cross our fingers for Blue Pit Crew Toad, because I took him to level 7 because he's so cute. Really cute.
It is,
blue one or the
interesting.
yellow one?
I did both to level
Oh,
7.
you did both. Nice.
I'll make one more last comment, and then I'm going to shut up and I'll let other people talk. So I will say, though, I do get like comments on my rundown videos where someone will be like, oh, good thing I put tickets on Rosalina because you know, she got buffed again. And it's like, oh, I didn't like, that was not like an emphasis I made at all, like during the video, but like they heard the buff, and to them, they're just like, every buff that person gets, it's really valuable to them. And so they're like in this world where, you know, like every buff that they get is like really help, like you said, really reinforcing their investment. But I do think it is kind of like, you know, it's like when someone says mentions a purple car, then all of a sudden you start seeing purple cars around you. It's like, you know, to you like that is happening, and you know, in your own bubble. You know, again, every single rundown, someone's like, oh, I'm so glad I invested in this. I'm like, I never said you didn't invest in that, but to them, they're like, oh, you know, it was reinforcement there because they got that buff, and to them, every buff is phenomenal. But what do you think, ThisBeChris, Larry, Nathalie, Angelita? I know FrenzyFans and I, we're getting really excited about this kind of stuff, but we'd love to hear from you guys too.
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the most unique things about this game is how your specific loadouts affect so many other things strategy wise, just on your own personal level. So I think, but to what FrenzyFans Beard was saying a second ago,
Frenzy Beard.
I think the last year or so, what we have seen is, I think the more purposefully putting things in, ranked, and really kind of getting on a pretty predictable, schedule of buffs, so that really the only way you could kind of shoot yourself in the foot is if you invested in something heavily early on and ended up just getting like tons of city buffs. I mean, the only thing I can think of historically that I'm glad I didn't invest in, I wanted to so bad, was Mario Sunshine, because of the aesthetics and the skill. But I still have them, I think, at like level 3 and 1 out of 2. And just every time I see them, I'm like, well, thank goodness I don't have them at 6 or 7, because I still never would have used them. But like I think like the others were saying, if it's something that's come out in the last 6 to 12 months and early on you took it to a high level, odds are you used it in ranked for it, at least a few tours, if not even more than that, or just throughout other courses, for ACR or whatnot. So but then again, it's completely relative to the rest of your own loadouts. So because what might be super useful for one person might be completely not useful for somebody else. But I think that's what makes this game so cool, is that element exists.
I would say I always start to invest, like I don't do it in the first try, I do it later when I see on the BEM and GURP sheet that it's useful for my account. Besides when it's a coin box driver, then I mostly take it to 6 or to 7 and like double uncap it, or this Meowser I did, or triple uncap, because he's a very big driver. But yeah, there are sometimes like items, like for example the Starry Great Sale, it was a lot of times in the bundles, it's for me level 6, but it's not useful for me at all. It gave me like, last tour I checked the BEM and GURP sheet and it would give me like 1 unique track. And this tour, because I took the silver Surf Master to 6, yeah, this track is also gone. So yeah, good that I put on that. I think it was like 2 or 3 times in a bundle, so I only took like 2 tickets on it. So it, yeah, and maybe at one point I need it on a track on a future buff, yeah, then I maybe use it. Also like the black Tobin balloons, I would like to use it, but that's also not really useful. And also the 8-bit bullet bill, but then it's mostly like because I put a cap ticket on it, so a single uncap, so that doesn't really hurt. Like, yeah, I first double uncap when it's like when it's level 6 or level 7, and when it's really useful, when it gives me like 4 or 5 tracks maybe or more.
Do you have the Black Great Sale already really high?
I have it at level 7, yeah, at 595.
Yeah, that hurts bullet bill. Yeah.
It really hurts bullet bill. Yeah. What about like say Dream Glider, right? So like right now it's one of the top gliders in the game, and it's one that a lot of people are investing in, kind of similar to Silver King and Rummy Runner. Do you think that and again, I think people invested in it partly because it's Kamek and maybe it was aesthetics, but is there a connection between some of these top items and aesthetics? I always want to just kind of recalibrate to Night Rosa's great question.
I don't think so. I think they will do it random, yeah. Like you cannot really predict what Nintendo does, and when we would be able to predict it, then they would just change it.
Yeah, and I think as we got like now we have had the cap tickets for so long, because at start we were so like hesitant to use them, so now it's more like, okay, we just double uncap like right away, like it's like one rank, so it's like more, we do it more because now we have way more tickets, because we get like 6, is it not 6 every rank?
Yeah,
I think it's
Yeah,
6
cap
every
tickets.
6, yeah. So that's actually a double uncap on a new item, so people are like more like, they tend to use them more now because it's like we have so many of them now.
Yeah, that's a fair
good
point.
point.
I don't think it's aesthetics related though, just because that's so subjective. You know, I'm sure that certain people might disagree, but that's probably more just a coincidence of the things they liked or didn't like getting, you know, buffed or not buffed or whatnot. So I think it's a little too subjective to probably nail that down. I don't think Nintendo says like, let's design something really ugly so that people know not to invest in it. I mean, that doesn't really make much sense. So yeah, but that's just, I might be totally wrong. So
I think we talked about, excuse me, I think we talked about it once before where we were talking about like, obviously gold characters seem to carry a lot of more value. And I think we talked about like black and silver. Like, so I think maybe there's something with it with like the colors, but actually like the creative characters and the new alts and stuff. I'm not sure about that. Because there's been a few times that I was like, I don't like the cats. I don't want to invest in the cats, but then I don't have anything because they're all cats. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, you guys all bring up so good points, and I think this is a really good discussion. Just kind of everyone's kind of tossing in a little piece of it. Yeah, I don't think necessarily Nintendo says like, hey, this is more aesthetically pleasing, like, you know, and have some algorithm that this is, you know, the colors are more complementary than this on this versus that or whatever. But I do think that they see like, hey, people are investing in this. Let's, you know, reward, you know, the general population. Let's bring this in. Let's bring that, like Vampire Flyer for me is like, that was one of the few recently that I took it to 700, and it's been in ranked like literally every single tour. And you see it like, you know, Antelope's like, this bubble's got to burst because it just keeps being in ranked. It doesn't even have like great coverage. It has like on paper, of course, the weighted coverage, course coverage, it's not doing anything, but it's always in ranked. And I think they're doing it because they do realize that people are investing in it, and people are investing in it because they love the look. And so to us, like the correlation isn't necessarily with the look, it's that people like it. I think Nintendo does want to they don't want to say, all right, everyone's investing in this, let's just totally dump it. Like I think that they do want people to feel like their investment is being rewarded, and to kind of like give them some reassurance and keep them motivated and saying like, yeah, I want to keep playing this game because I got this awesome asset I am excited to keep using, and I think like that's how they're keeping people motivated in the game more than any other strategy, in my opinion. But you know, could totally be wrong there. But yeah, I think overall, when they have an awesome looking thing, I think that they should be proud of it. And I really hope this Merlion gets as many buffs as possible because it looks awesome. Like, you know, forget the little pull float thing. Like, no one cares about that, but like, give us this Merlion, like, give it all its glory. I'm all about that. Anyone else want to add anything else to that?
I'll just say like one more quick thing, and then I've got to step out and get my son to bed. But yeah, I think I agree completely with what you just said, Steph, because you know, if they didn't reward you for spending high-end tickets, or if they didn't reward enough of us for investing high-end tickets, we wouldn't use as many high-end tickets, which means we would have a lot, which means we wouldn't need to buy packs for things that we don't have tickets to use on. You know, so I think that would also kind of de-incentivize a part of the, you know, money making there. So that's all.
Yeah, if you need to jump, feel free. There was one last hot topic that I wanted to get to before we wrapped up. Do you need to run?
Yeah, I'm gonna take off. Sorry to leave so like right at the end. But
it's all right. No, I'll let you send out an ending segment. We've just asked everyone. It's kind of actually been initiated by one of our members, and to CJN, where just recommendations for new players. And we've done it before, and I'd like to have this be the kind of the ending statement every single time to one of our Kart Talk. But what suggestion would you have, or recommendation, advice, whatever you want to describe it, to a new player, a player who's just started the game maybe 1 or 2 months ago? What would your recommendation be for them? And then we'll let you go.
Okay, yeah, no problem. One would be to pay very close attention to skill plus drivers. You know, your coin box, your boomerangs, your lucky sevens, and whichever one I didn't, giant banana. But also kind of as quickly as possible, because I put it off for a while. You know, getting a hold of BAM and GURBS, looking at the spreadsheets to see which items maximize your own coverage, to see which items investing in gives you, you know, unique coverage, like Larry was saying about, you know, Starry Great Sale. You know, because that really starts to kind of give you a slight edge in terms of really anyone else who's not doing that, but also just in terms of maximizing your loadouts and your performance. On the flip side, if that sounds really boring and dumb, then and you just want to spend all your tickets on Kongs or Rosalinas, then have at it. And if people tell you to do something different, but you love playing the game the way you play the game, then forget everything else and enjoy the game that you love in the way that you love. So, but there are tons of resources out there. There's tons of people out there in all these Discord servers from the FrenzyFans and Studfit and everyone else. Get involved, ask questions, and utilize the resources because they really will help you out. And pretty much everyone who is quote unquote better than you is probably using them. So, it's really challenging to catch up if you don't utilize the same resources that everyone else is using.
Great points. Thanks for joining us, ThisBeChris.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
See you, Chris.
Bye.
Yeah.
You.
All right. Before we get to your version of each of those answers, MKD asked a question, and I think it actually ties in well with a video that FrenzyFans did here recently about daily selects. And so I'd highly recommend you checking out that video from FrenzyFans. I think you had Curtis on there talking about some of that data, but MKD also brings up a trend that he's seeing this tour. Seems like the daily selects has seriously been shut down this tour for many people, himself included. Do you think Nintendo might be messing with the high-end ticket odds now that a new Coinbox driver is out? Or is it simply just that so many of us are simultaneously having the same bad luck, similar to all having Hero in our ranked? So specifically, he mentions, and we had a couple different people mention their data, just to kind of back up what he's saying. He's not, delusional in that he's thinking a lot of people are in the same situation. He said he's gotten 1 in the last 10 days. Normally it'd be like 4 or 5 over that period. CJN says he's got no high end this tour, but he's been getting 1 every 2 or 3 days. He had no high ends last tour, but this tour he's been getting every 2 or 3 days. So for him, it's actually been much better. And then Edidal said he's gotten 3 tickets in 3 weeks. I know he really needs those tickets and brings that up in the server when he's frustrated. And then B-Rad Geo says he's gotten 3 days in a row of high-end tickets for December 6th through 9th, but then nothing. So that was a month ago. So he does have some work to do with this category. So let's talk about daily selects. Does anyone else have their shop shut down here recently, or has it gone the other way?
My shop is shut down this tour. Oh yeah, go Angelita.
No, go ahead, Larry. It's okay. Go ahead.
So yeah, my shop is shut down this tour. I got so far 2 high-end tickets only. And last tour I got 18 high-end tickets. That's my record actually. Yeah. But then the strange is looking at the tier shop. I got there. Okay, I cannot really see it. But I never saw 3 high-end tickets in the tier shop. Tier shop, yeah. It was okay. And yeah, I don't know why it's sometimes there's a lot of tickets and sometimes there are not really any tickets. But 2 tickets is I don't know. That's I usually get 10 or maybe more, I don't know.
Well, Larry98, teach us how you get 10 in a tour, because I don't think I've ever gotten 10 in a tour.
Wow, do you have all of them maxed?
I have all the comments and supers maxed, yeah.
Okay.
You FrenzyFans gal, do you have them all maxed, supers and normals?
Not the super. Well, I have my super, one of my supers max, but I have all my common normals max completely, and then one of my supers. But last tour, for example, my tour was, or my shop was just shut down for weeks. I think in the entire tour I got 1 ticket. But then this tour, it's not like it's opened up and the floodgates have unleashed glory on me or anything like that. But I have had 6 tickets in the past week or so, which is more than normal. Or I guess in the last tour, so week and a half. Yeah.
I think I've had 1 of each, and that was Wednesday, Thursday, Friday when it all started. Apart from that, nothing. I think 2 tours ago, I went almost 3 weeks without a ticket, and I was absolutely punching the ceiling. And I was like, give me a ticket, give me a ticket, give me a ticket. And what I've had to do is save as many as I can just in case it does shut down, which is how I got my Meowser to level 5, and I need 2 more to get him to level 6. But I had to use the one in the tier, so like in the tier shop, which is totally overpriced. And I'm thinking, why am I paying 3k more for it and it's only 12? You know, and then I think to myself, yeah, I can't get anything else now that I need. And yeah, then you end up having to do coin rush, and I'm thinking, I don't want to do coin rush. It's too time consuming and it's awful to do. And yeah, it's just totally shut down. It's just so frustrating. So yeah.
You, Natalie, did you
I think it's random because I have had like this. So I had somewhere I had like 3 high ends, and some days where I don't have, and then I get 1, 2. So it's like, I think it's just random, and some people are lucky and some people are not. Like everything, like with everything in this game, it's just like, yeah.
So I've mentioned this a number of times, and I'll do the abbreviated version, but I need to just do it like a video. I've actually been collecting my data for now probably about 14 months, where I've taken a screenshot every single day of my daily selects, and I think for the first 2 or 3 months I was putting it into Excel. And even though I've been taking the pictures still, I haven't put it into Excel. I've obviously been excited to spend more time with you guys in Discord and in my channel, much more than going into Excel and doing data entry. But the point is that I do have a philosophy or thought process, hypothesis, whatever you want to call it, on this process. It being that there is a shutdown, there is a acceleration, or whatever you want, turning it on, like controlling a floodgate is how I describe it, in that you can not like wide open or not like absolutely closed down, and still someone's getting 1, 2, 3. I will say it's really, really, really hard to know what's happening to your shop if you don't have everything maxed. So that is a huge first step. Check out FrenzyFans video to see which ones you need, the premium versus the regular, etc. But let's just say you have everything maxed. I would say for an average for me for over this period of time was somewhere in the 7 to 10 tickets per tour. That's a normal tour. Yeah, some days you get it, and on average it's like every other day, with maybe 2 days in a row where you're getting, or 3 days in a row technically that you're getting a ticket. I would say that's pretty normal. My hypothesis, though, is it does get shut down. I think Nintendo does it sometimes when an account is moving too fast, and it's their way to kind of regulate things. I do know that just kind of looking at some of the data, it's really weird. Tuesday is a really weird day. If my shop was on Tuesday, I get no ticket. If my shop was closed Tuesday, I get a ticket. And I'm not sure what's interesting about Tuesday. Maybe because it's the last day of the tour, so they're like, hey, if someone was waiting all this time, I'm going to give it to them, and they're going to be rewarded. I don't know what it is, but I've run some of the data from that I've collected, and try to see, like, does it matter how many coins I have? Does it matter if I do this, do that? The strongest correlation I found, and again, it's all anecdotal data that I've collected, but the one thing that triggers it that I've seen is using a lot of tickets, using specifically high-end tickets. So when you use tickets, it either could jostle it closed or jostle it open. My personal hypothesis, to be honest with this, is that everyone used a lot of tickets on Meowser. And, for me, my kind of threshold that I was always kind of looking at was using 10 high-end tickets. And so I think that my hypothesis to this question, great question from MKD Ben, is that a lot of people used more than 10 tickets on a Meowser, and so their shop got shut down because they were accelerating too fast. Nintendo wanted to slow them down. Shop was shut down. So that is my personal hypothesis, and I think because a lot of people did that, a lot of people are experiencing their shops getting shut down. Now, I will say, if your shop was shut down already and you did that, it could actually jostle it the other way. My recommendation is, if your shop is shut down for more than a tour, even a week, just spend some tickets or do something different. If you've been saving, spend the tickets. If you've been spending the tickets, save them. Do whatever you possibly can to jostle things around. I know I was having a tough time last tour where I was going a couple of days. I was really waiting for a Kart ticket. And what's funny is that the reason I needed a Kart ticket is because I was taking this attempt at top 10 and I dumped a lot of tickets on day one. And then of course my shop was shut down the rest of the tour. So again, it was just reaffirming what I had already thought of, but I dumped a bunch of super tickets and tried to see if I could jostle it. It didn't really work. So I do think it is related to high end when it comes to getting high end. But that's my hypothesis. Do you think I'm crazy?
I don't think you're crazy, but I'm getting completely different results. So I was shut down forever. And this tour, I think I've spent over 22 high-end driver tickets, not counting all my other high ends, because I'm actually going for ACR 1000 this time for the first time. And so, urban pause like stuff. Sorry, we were paused like this.
Oh, sorry.
It was great. It was great. Yeah. But I think I've spent over 40 tickets this week, and my shop's finally back open. Like I'm finally getting things. So kind of the opposite of what you were saying, but they could have shut down. I was under the impression that they were shutting down my shop because I was hoarding all these tickets. I had like 29 high-end drivers and like 34 high-end carts, like because I was just waiting for a time to spend them. So I don't know.
Yeah, well, so you're saying though that your shop was shut down for a long time. You used tickets, now it's open. Yeah, that's what I've been saying. Is whatever is happening, whether it's shut down or the flow or it's flowing open. If it is shut down, the best thing to do, my recommendation would be to spend tickets.
Yeah.
If it is flowing, the worst thing you can do is spend a lot of tickets.
Okay. I see.
But again, I don't know for sure. But when I heard this question from MKD, I was like, man, just reaffirming what my hypothesis is. But what do you? I'd love to hear from the rest of you guys. What do you guys think?
I mean, I've not spent any tickets apart from using the ones that I already had. But I find that if I stop spending them, then it still shuts down anyways for me. So I've been getting like, say, a boost driver ticket or a Kart ticket boost or a couple of the item tickets, and then that's about it. That's all I've been getting. So even though I go and buy the commons, because I've still got a couple of commons to do as well, I figured, all right, if I get some of those, then maybe that might open it up again, but it still remains shut. So I think it is a bit of a luck of the draw kind of thing, where if they want to give it to you, then they'll give it to you. And if they don't want to, then they won't. Because I thought, well, if I buy the driver ticket in the tier shop, then maybe, they'll see me spending the money getting it and like they might be generous or something. And no, they were mean to me. So
I will clarify, when I say shut down, I'm referring to if normal odds is, a 1.0 chance of this happening, then shut down means like a 0.85. Or if it's open, like a 1.15, kind of similar to how like they do drivers. They have medium, which is 1.0. They have small, which is 0.85, and they have large hitbox for drivers is 1.15. So that's what I'm talking about. Is like they just kind of slightly increase the odds or slightly decrease the odds. And that's what I'm referring to. So yeah, to your point, like you're just seeing kind of these small little differences. It may not be, it's not completely shut down, but like you can tell with your odds, like you're seeing a different experience.
Yeah. So, I mean.
Good. All right. Well, we are at our time. So it's been an awesome experience. I loved these questions. We kept it really live and dynamic. I was excited about that. Just you heard our question from ThisBeChris, finishing with that answer. But just kind of want to touch on, N2CJN mentions just a regular segment for Kart Talk. It might be like advice for a new player. And we've kind of talked on it before. I'd love to finish it with it every episode. Just because, you know, I think in those of us who are in Discord, or those of us who are very connected, we kind of like, we have some best practices, but maybe someone doesn't know what we would take away. And there's so many resources. I mean, you know, some of us are doing 2-hour videos, and so sometimes it's hard to understand, you know, where there's information that they can pull apart. There's so many great content creators now. I think there's a lot of great advice. But what we'll just leave every single person will just be able to say advice that they might have for a new player, and then say goodbye. So we'll start with you, Nathalie.
I would say now that they use the special pipes lately, pull on them, because then there's a lot of supers in their comments, so you get a lot of high end. Like for example, this pipe, the gold pipe here, it has been super good. So just use them on those, because then you can actually save rubies instead of going into 100 pipes. Like then you could, like, because you don't get so many rubies at the start, or like you get the challenges, but it's like you still need a lot to level up to get daily selects open when we talk about the high end stuff. So you can get more items from there, and maybe do the multiplayer so you can get the coins, because I don't know if it's limited or not there. I don't think nobody of us do the 100 like waiting in the lobby. Do you guys do that?
No.
Not much anymore.
No, but for some people it could be useful to buy stuff in the daily select.
Really good point. Yeah, I like it, Nathalie. Thank you very much. We'll finish the way we started, which is going from east to west. So Larry, give a piece of advice for a new player, and then say goodbye.
So yeah, I would say grinding player level. I didn't really do that in the beginning, but that means you get like every few levels you get rubies, and then you get also more points when you have the higher player level. Yeah. So that would be like a good advice, I think.
Yeah, and especially if we get level 200 next turn, we'll see. We'll see. Hopefully,
Hopefully.
I'm not
ready.
jinxing it. Yikes! Sorry, guys, don't kill me. All right, Angelita, what would be some piece of advice, and say goodbye to your fans?
My piece of advice would be, if you're ever unsure, ask somebody in the server or on whatever server you're in, because everyone's knowledgeable. Everyone's got some form of idea of what advice to give. Use your spreadsheets, you know, pull on the pipes, check your odds and everything else, get your challenges done. And just remember that it is just a game, you know, have fun. Just take it at your own pace. There's no right way, wrong way to play it. And that's basically it. I don't have any fans, as you know already. You know, it's just a family thing, yeah, like no matter where you are. So yeah, just yeah, everybody's welcoming. Everybody will be nice to you. So just yeah, remember just to have fun.
Awesome, FrenzyFans.
Yeah, I think my advice would be there's so many different strategies and different ways to like really enjoy the game. So figure out what, like, especially when you're first starting and you don't have like tons of loadouts and tons of stuff to like go for ACR, let's say, figure out what makes you the most excited and set little benchmarks for yourself. And then don't compare yourself to other people, because comparison is like the thief of joy. Like I know sometimes I'll get like a great score and then I'll look at his score and I'll be like, I suck, right? And it like robs me of like that feeling of like, oh no, I like for my loadouts and where I'm at in the game, that was really, really good. So don't let comparison like rob you of the joy of the game, because it's fun. So just kind of know where you're at, what you want to like achieve, and then challenge yourself enough. But yeah, enjoy the game. It's fun.
Yeah. And I would say take advantage of as much as you can with the new player pipe pulling luck.
Right.
Like the more that you play and the more that you pull pipes, the lower the luck goes with you.
Indirectly correlated, whatever. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So enjoy it while you can, and then once things start getting frustrated, that just means that you're getting more serious in the game, and Mario is understanding that that you're probably going to be sticking around more. So don't get too frustrated with it, but just enjoy it when you have the luck, and when you don't have the luck, it's okay. It's not the end of the world. Yeah. We know it sucks. There have been several times where I go to bed very mad because I spent way more rubies than I wanted you to try and get something.
We call them Discord servers, but really they're just like emotional support groups. Like, that's the purpose of them.
Yes. Keeping your mental health is really important with this game. That is for sure. Well, everyone you see here, ThisBeChris as well is in our Discord server, our members only Discord server. So check that out if that makes sense. I would say my advice, kind of going back to daily selects, just max out those daily selects. It's not sexy, buying 2 Mortons, but it's going to get you, it's going to open up slots, and it's going to take you a lot further in your game when it comes to, really the daily selects is one of the most, when we talk about mental state and depression, like not getting tickets like 3, 4, 5, 6 days in a row, it can be very depressing. It's sad how much that impacts our mood, but I would highly recommend it's worth the investment. But that's all we have, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. Each one of these guests, you guys are awesome. And thank you for sitting in 2 hours of this video or the audio podcast. We're excited to have you listening to us every single week, and we're excited to see how many episodes we get along, but so glad you guys joined us. Until next time, may the frenzy luck be with you. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. See ya.
Bye.
Bye.